This is the Tier 10 Czechoslovakian Tech Tree Heavy, the VZ55, a well-rounded heavy that had a lot of great things going for it, including a very powerful gun that has upwards of 470 average damage output, including solid bits of armor that occur on the upper plates, and even the turret in most regards as well. Now, in the present update, which is 11.1, Wargaming has decided to buff the absolute crap out of this vehicle. And by that, they decided to turn this thing into an autoloader and give it a second shell in its intraclip. Now, it did affect the stats a little bit, but it wouldn't really make that much of a difference whatsoever. It lost 10 millimeters of average alpha damage from 470 down to 460. It also got worse reload time, but I can understand that as it is an autoloader now. And it did lose a little bit of penetration as well. So now it has upwards of 254 average, 330 premium average, and 68 HE average. But when you're still running calibrated shells, the pen is actually still fairly solid at upwards of 346, which means that you are still able to cut through a lot of space armor, including the majority of super heavies in that regards as well. So going for the other stats, this vehicle has 270 millimeters of frontal turret armor and 196 millimeters of frontal hull armor. And this is what the current armor profile looks like. It kind of remains stationary for the time being, as the upper plate is still very strong and no forms of ammunition are able to cut through it, surprisingly enough, which is upwards of 440 to 446 in most cases. Really, the only downside with the VZ75 is that you got this ginormous wedge right here that a lot of vehicles can overmatch, as it is a bit of a troll spot in order to try to hit, as the majority of the upper plate is just nothing but space armor, having upwards of 238 millimeters thick, including a very strong turret as well. Like, you got these little shields right here that cover the side of the turret, pretty similar to that of a Super Conqueror, having upwards of 383 when you are unfortunate enough to hit them. Even the gun mantle is extremely strong as well, having upwards of 292 to 330. When loading the premiums, you can see that it does end up making a bit of a difference, as now, if you can wedge your shell in between the space bit, right, or the shielded bit right here, and kind of squeeze it to the side of the gun mantlet, you are able to cut right through this armor right here, which is surprisingly enough, and it can be a bit of a troll spot at that too, because you got to kind of wedge yourself in and hit directly into that spot right there in order to guarantee a pen on that thing. Including some hatches on the roof, this one right here is only about 231, but it's more easier of a hit to try to do than this one is right here, as this one tends to be a little more aerodynamic, and if you try to hit it, then you're probably going to have a little bit of some problems trying to do so in the process. So good luck with trying to do that. Once we go to make our way towards the side of the vehicle, the side of the turret is upwards of 163 to 186. Then the full-on side is 109 to 112. And then the rear, the back of the turret is 81. And then the full-on rear where the engine deck is located is upwards of 70. When loading HE, 73 millimeters thickness will not be able to cut through the back of this turret and even the engine deck, as they are both too thick. Some of the other stats for the vehicle is that the DPM factors have now gone to 2,660 with a 16.75 second magazine reload time and a 4-second intraclip reload time in between shells. And for the average damage, it also got 400 on premium pen, which got slightly a little bit better, and 610 on the high explosive. That kind of remained the same as well. Combined as well with a 3.8 second aiming time with 0.292 dispersion. And then for the maneuverability, the tank goes at a top speed of 40 with a reverse of 13 and a very solid power to weight of 16 while at it. The VZ55, really the playstyle just hasn't really changed for the time being, but it's gotten a bit stronger now that they added in that second gun, kind of perfecting it from what they did on PC and console when those tanks on those games did already have the second shell auto-loading clip that was already built into the vehicle, so they decided to want to perfect that and put it into Blitz as well, and now this thing has gotten more of a very strong heavy at that, more of a well-rounded. So let's go ahead and get into our first battle right here. Let's see what they got. They have a 60 TP, they have a T95E6 and a Type 71. Also got to mention that this vehicle did remain in the combat stabilization mechanic as well, to where if you're no longer at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour, then your aiming reticle will decrease down to a point to where you are almost guaranteed to hit every form of shells that you're aiming at. Alright, so it looks like that we got some of our guys going to the far right. I am the only one over here, unfortunately enough. I did want to try to get a tap into the T95E6 now that he knows that I'm here. So I'm just going to back on up just a little bit. and I'm not really going to focus in on him, so I'm going to go ahead and reload the clip. It was good to get a pot shot in here and there, but oh well, that's alright. Well, we got an E50 that's trying to flank us off in the back. Our 60's right over here trying to hold off some of the enemies that are trying to push over that ridge over there. E50's getting kerblunkered in the process, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my attention over towards this 60 TP as he is out in the open right there. Very troll bounce if I'm not going to be mistaken, so we're just going to go ahead and aim in a second time and do 469. That is the beauty of having a second shell in your intro clip. So I'm going to kind of aim my gun upwards so the 60 has trouble trying to hit me, and he did end up missing his shell. So we're going to reload once again. We're going to go on over towards the 60. Hopefully they don't have any vehicles off in the back, because that would be really unfortunate. I would not want to try to risk that. Oh, never mind. Okay. Their TDs are off towards the side. That's really good. So we got the 60 once again. There we go. Nice tap for 402. Not even exposing our armor at that. So, and unfortunately enough, we did miss the second one. But like I said, not really beneficial to being a two-shell auto-reloader at that. So we're just going to kind of angle on towards this. Oh, and he lights us on fire, bruh. That is crazy. Hopefully the 60's not going to mosey on towards us, which is good. All right, we are able to overmatch his engine deck right there, and we are able to get the second shell out finishing him off in the process. I don't know what I was talking about. I had a little bit of a brain fart there. All right, well, we got the T110E3 moseying on down now. He clearly does not know that I'm here. So I'm actually just going to stay put right over here. It looks like that he is going to turn in on me at the last second. So let's see. Can we overexpose that hatch right there? Yes, beautiful. 430. And let's go ahead and do it again on him. Maybe. Ah, dang it. That's barely misses it just by a pixel. But you got to remember, the E3's hatch is extremely troll at that, so it's about a 50-50 if you can hit it in the right spot. So anyways, we're just going to mosey on up towards the E3 just a little bit. Let's see if we can try to get like a troll bounce on him or something like that. So we're just kind of angling upwards right there. Okay, not really going to work one way or another. So we're going to go ahead and mosey on through over here then. He is getting the base wall at that, so he's probably going to mosey on through, which he is. Oh well. Alright, let's see if we can overexpose that hatch once again. Unfortunately, not able to pen that. All right, and he doesn't realize that I am a two-shell autoloader at that. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe what I am witnessing right now. That is absolutely crazy. Well, the good news is that he fired, but the bad news is that I'm still reloading my clip, and it looks like that the T-22 might try to come in right behind him. 60's getting her blunkered off in the process. I would be willing to take a hit from this guy, so he is over-angling that spot. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely crazy of what I'm witnessing right now. Bro, this is absolutely crazy. Oh my god. Alright, so I'm hoping that the 60 ends up coming on through right behind me, because I would love to get a finishing clear into him. There he is. Alright, beautiful. So now, I should be able to finish this guy off. Okay, unfortunately enough, I'm not. But we got the T110E3. He gets a shot into me. So let's go ahead and get one tap into him. And you know what? I'm going to wait for the 60 to mosey on through, as I'm going to try to bait this guy. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that, as the E3 looks like he's going to come down right below me. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a quick tap into him while at it. And then I'm just going to mosey on and try to turn my tank. Come on, come on, come on. Angle. Ah, damn it. Okay. Well, that was a solid game at that. I can't complain. That was actually kind of strange at the same time. But it did just go to show that sometimes the VZ55 only wants to work when it wants to, and clearly we got a lot of troll bounces at that, so it's unfortunate enough to witness stuff just kind of like that, but I can't really complain. We still did 2975 damage in this one, destroying one in the process, and of course, doing second on the team. Well, our E4 actually put up pretty good solid stats at that, so let's go ahead and get into our second battle. Hopefully we can put up a better solid demonstration at that. Well, it was kind of strange for the fact that using the double shot can be highly beneficial to when you're able to hit both of your shells and pen 100% of the time. Well, unfortunately on that one, I didn't really know what I was doing in the process, and it led to the biggest downfall of the century. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into our second battle and see how we can fare well till then. Here we are in game number 2 on a map that surprisingly has made a return, which is Port Bay. Let's see what they got. They have a VK7201, and that looks like all they got for their heavies, and it looks like that we have 2 heavies with us. So we're just going to go ahead and follow our M4 MLE54, moseying our way towards the right side while at that. Okie dokie. That power to weight is also very beneficial to trying to get into the front line as quick as possible, as we are keeping up with the M4 MLE54 at that, which is a more form of a super heavy at that, which we are spotted in the process by who knows what. So So we're just going to continue moseying on up over here. Maybe we can peck some enemies going off towards the left side over here. Or that works too. The Conf Panzer 50. There's one tap into him. We're going to reload once again and get the second tap into him. There we go. 800 damage brought out of his vehicle. Fortunately, the Marat just missed him while he was out in the open, which is unfortunate. So let's go ahead and we're reloading our clip once again. Let's see how we can fare well against some of the other enemies that are trying to push off in the back, which we do got the T-22 medium fully out exposed in the open. We can overmatch that engine deck of his, and that is exactly what we do. So we're reloading once again. He's remaining in a stationary spot, and we get a second shot for a max roll of 575. That brings us close to 2,000 damage already, which is absolutely crazy. All right, the Marat, okay, so he gets the clear into him, but he is remaining put in the same spot. Okay, good, he moves. We also got the Contra Caro off in the back. Let's go ahead. We can pen that turret, surprisingly enough. So we're able to get one tap into him and the second tap into him. That is a very solid demonstration to the double shotgun and how powerful it can be when you're able to hit both of your shells into your enemies. Alright, so we got the enemy 183 off in the back. I'm actually going to turn my attention over towards him, as it looks like that he is the only one that's over here. And it looked like that two of these guys tried to end up flanking off in the process. So, we got the 183 right over there. There you are, Mr. 183. Let's see, are you going to pen me? Probably not. And there we go. Nice. 640, including the RAM as well, which is kind of crazy to even think about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and mosey on through to the last two enemies over here, the VK-7201 and the T-92E1. Alright, so we're going to kind of mosey on in behind. Let's see if I can get some HE shots into the T-92E1 and demonstrate the HE damage to the best of my ability. So, let's go ahead and mosey on through, use the solid maneuverability that this vehicle has. And, let's see, oh, he is not spotted, unfortunately, but we are still able to get one shell into the VK-7201, and let's go ahead and get the second one, finishing him off in the process. Beautiful. That brings us over the 4,400 damage mark, which is actually fairly solid. There's the T-92E1. All right. Well, it looks like that he is going to try to run away. He did end up getting bounced by our M4 MLE-54 with that little scumbag right over here. All right, so let's go ahead and mosey on through. It looks like that he stopped for a mere second, so let's go ahead and mosey our way right over here. It looks like the Marat gets a shot into him. He low rolls at that, which is unfortunate. So it looks like that he might poke on over here, so I'm just going to continue moving on forward. He tries to get a pot shot in one of them. So here he comes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, unfortunately not enough. But I can't complain. That is a much better demonstration to using the double shot to your advantage when you are able to hit directly to where you're aiming and pen the shots for the majority of shots that you take. So in this one, we were able to do 4465. We blocked 1,400 damage, pulling out a third class in that one, and doing top on the team. A much better performance based on that. So let us go ahead and get into game number 3 then, and see how we could fare well until then. And game number 3 is amongst us. So let's see what they got. They have an FE215B, and they have a Kron and a VK-7201. Alright, interesting lineup apart from their behalf, as we have a VK-72 and an E100 as well. That E100 actually got mega buffed, apart from its stock gun, surprisingly enough. So, let's go ahead and mosey our way over towards the left and see how any enemies would want to try to poke, so we can peck them off in the process that they try to cross over to base D. Okie doke, here we go. Using the solid maneuverability along with the engine boost, as we are the first tank to make it upwards in the front line right over here. Let's go ahead and poke over this ridge line right over here and use our armor to our advantage over here. Alright, looks like we got some enemies over towards base B, so that's really good that we now know that they're over here. We got the 183 already spotted off in the back, kind of obvious as that's the worst camo factored vehicle in the game. Interesting, they have a 4005 that was spotted up top, so I'm going to back on up just a little bit in case if he does try to end up going upwards over the hill right over here, and see if we can try to get some pecking shots into him and do a solid chunk of damage, whether he's running Spall Liner or not. Okay, well, he does get a tap into him. Alright, so let's mosey on up to a point to where, unfortunately, we can't really spot him that well. Alright, you know what? We're not being spotted at the moment, so... Oh, we can see him. Unfortunately not. Well, we got the VK-72 over here. Alright, let's go ahead and turn our attention over towards this guy. Alright, not able to pen him at the moment as my gun depression didn't really lead to that. So let's go ahead and poke once again, and unfortunately not able to get the first one out as that tank, its cheeks have gotten extremely troll at that. And we do bounce the second one. I know I can pen those cheeks as I've done it before in the past. So anyways, let's go ahead and... Alright, back on up just a little bit as the 4005 is exposed yet again. Oh, and he does get kerblunkered in the process, which is unfortunate upon his behalf. Guess I got the Yag poking on out, but he does manage to bounce that. And we do get the clear into the 4005 as he was a... to prevent him from trying to take out more hit points out of my enemies. But we do bounce the VK yet again, unfortunately enough. So it looks like he's going to mosey on forward just at the tiniest bit. Alright, so we're reloading our clip once again. I do want to take care of this guy right over here just in case, as he does get kerblunkered once again. So let's go ahead and get a tap into him. And let's go ahead and get the... just goes high. God damn it, I should have moved forward. Well, that's totally fine. It doesn't go to show that the VZ is a bad vehicle, that I'm bouncing my shells. It's just laziness upon my behalf. I know that you're guaranteed to peck those cheeks off on the VK7201, but it's my fault at that, which is why... Alright, so we got the Yag off in the back. Let's get a tap into him. He bounces my turret, of course, enough. So let's go ahead and get the second tap. There we go. Much better demonstration at that. So we did get another 800 damage out of him. Hopefully the Yag pecks off the VK, which he does bounce him, unfortunately enough. So it looks like the Yag is going to poke on out once again. So I'm just going to use my gun to press him once again and see if I can get a cheeking shot into this guy. There we go. 401 out of him. Alright, so we're just going to mosey back and forth for a little bit. There we go. Another bounce from the Yag. And we do get another tap into him. And we got some little stinker off in the back, which is the Caro. So I'm going to mosey on backwards just a little bit. I want to try to take care of this little stinker, as he is a potential threat at the moment. So... he did try to get an HE on my rear, but as you saw based on the armor profile, is that you can't really HE the rear and the back of the turret with this thing. And you saw that it only did 78 damage. So there's the Caro once again, and we are able to get the clear into him, and there we go. Not really what we expected for our third game, but it just goes to show the VZ55 really only wants to work as you put up a very solid performance in it. So... 2609 in this one, able to block 2270 based on the shots from the Yag and the VK at that, and we were able to do third on the team. Not fairly solid of a performance, but still I can't complain. It is a win at that. And if you want me to go over and show that these games were not cherry-picked in the process, you can see VZ55, first one was a defeat, the second one was a victory, and the third one was also a victory at that. So I can't complain. The VZ55 is a very solid vehicle now that it got that second gun, and you can use it to your advantage, much like to what it used to be before. It was just a single shot. And it goes to show that it is still a very solid vehicle at that, and a very well-rounded heavy as well. So hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and make sure to turn on those bell notifications while at it so you don't miss out on any new videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.